To this stage for his first convention panel appearance ever, Mr. Vincent D'Onofrio! I gotta ask, first of all, welcome. Seattle is so happy to have you. Am I right, guys?
Thanks. Great to be here.
I gotta ask, what has this experience been like close to your fans, people who are passionate about not just one, not just two, but so many projects you've been a part of, getting to interact and interface with that? What has that sort of meant to you this weekend?
It's so cool. I can't tell you. You know, when you're working, you think of the audience. You know that people enjoy what you do, but you think of them as a mass of people. And when you're here, you see all these individual people and their stories and how much they're into what we do and into what they're doing here. And it just individualizes it for you and it makes you feel better. I think that I always felt when I was doing Wilson Fisk that people expected a certain quality they expect a certain quality from Marvel, and I wanted to bring that, and I knew that a lot of people had expectations, but it fuels you as an actor to do a better job. And so being here this last couple of days it's made me feel really good about what I've been doing, and I really appreciate it very much, all of you guys.
Well, we appreciate you. I mean, your career is legendary. I want to talk about so many things, but you mentioned Wilson, so we might as well start with Daredevil. I know. Your portrayal of the character is a little bit, in a way, it's a new spin on a character that's been around, and a little more, I want to say, humanity, which may sound a little bit odd, but I kind of want to know how you approach that role.
Well, you know, it was written, the first season was written by an incredible writer named Stephen DeKnight, who was, his writing was everything to me. It really helped me a lot. And then there were certain artists like David Mack and Bendis, and a lot of the people that did Miller's runs and Miller himself, his drawings, the drawings that those guys did, and Mankiewicz, and the drawings that those guys did, they influenced me a lot, their paintings and art. For the emotional aspect of the character, but then the rest of it was, he's a very emotional guy. He's all about his past, and so that's what drives his story forward. And so there was emotional things in my life that I had to I bring up in as an actor and speak the words through those. And so that's basically what Wilson Fisk is. He's just a ball of emotion, and sometimes it's angry, and you know, he can be a baby sometimes, but also he can be a monster, you know.
Do you consider him a villain?
I just think he's misunderstood.
I mean, I definitely agree. He is misunderstood. Let's go back to early on-screen appearances by you, specifically one of my favorite films, Full Metal Jacket. So phenomenal in that role, and I'm curious, when Kubrick first cast you, I know you did a big physical transformation before and after the movie, and how did he first approach you and say, yeah, Vincent, we want to cast you, but you're going to have to do this, and here's what I want from the character. Can you just sort of lay out the road to the making of Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah. You guys want to hear this real story? What happened? So I was a bouncer. I used to bounce at clubs in New York when I was a kid. And I was doing, I would do a play in the evening, and then I would go to a bouncing job and work all night, through the night, sleep all day, get up, do the play, and like that. And so there was a group of actors, like my generation of actors, that were all coming out of New York at that time. And we all kind of knew each other. And one time, Matthew Modine was passing by the front of this club that I was working at with his wife. And I said, hey, Matthew, what are you up to? And he told me that he's going to start doing this Stanley Kubrick thing and that one of the roles wasn't cast. And so I said, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. He said, you should send a tape. All these actors all over the country are sending tapes. And so that's what I did. I went and I was doing a play at the time, and I took a monologue that I was doing from that play, And at that time, the video cameras were like, you know,
The big tapes,
yeah,
yeah.
you had to carry one half of it
Like on a shoulder?
on a strap, and the other half was up here. And then, but we sat on the on a stoop, a stairway on 10th Avenue, and I think it was 26th Street, no 22nd Street. And I sat and I did this monologue, and I sent it out there, and that was the first time Stanley saw me. And then I got a call from him directly. He called me directly, and I hung up on him because I didn't believe it was him.
You're kidding.
No,
You're not kidding.
Did you believe it?
No.
No. So, and then he called me right back, and the first thing he said, I said, hello. He said, please do not hang up on me. And then he said, I'm going to send you some words, and I want you to put those words on tape. So I did that, and then a couple more weeks went by, and he sent me some more words, and I did that. And then he said, I want you to do this part. And he hired
Had you
me.
met him at that point? Or
Never
it had
met
been
him.
all through, oh my gosh, that's
Over the phone,
amazing.
yeah, only over the phone.
And good for, I mean, you hear the story and nowadays you think, you know, tape is so accessible. Now, putting yourself on video, it's taking a risk, but I mean, it's just so amazing that it panned out that way.
Well, when you were young, like me, I was 24 years old, and it would cost like something like $80 to rent all that equipment. It was like, for me, it was like a lot of money. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't edit them in any way or anything like that. I just sent the whole raw batch to him. Yeah.
And how was the filming process? You guys filmed in England, right?
Yeah, they started with the Vietnam stuff, and then I came over and I stayed there for about 4 or 5 months, putting the weight on and training to be a Marine, doing, you know, just because I had to know how to march and do monkey patrol with the rifles and all that stuff. And so they were still shooting the Vietnam stuff, and then they finished that up, and then we started the barracks stuff, which was shot in a gasworks plant outside of London.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's a phenomenal film, and your performance is absolutely amazing in that movie. So thank you for sharing.